Tonight, here's what people are talking about.
You are such marvels. However, you do not play against the guys, like I have to.
A social media controversy erupts over that comment by Power of the Dog director Jane Campion. Then Hailey Bieber hospitalized with a blood clot to her brain. People has exclusive information on her condition and Justin's reaction. Plus, it's People's new initiative, Let's Talk About It. Days of Our Lives star Lindsay Godfrey on contemplating suicide and her crippling mental health battle.
I remember being at least 6 and I would sit and rock myself, and I'd rock myself. And I would realize that I'd put my fingernails through my skin.
Then it's my favorite 2 nights of this or any year, The Bachelor 2-night finale. And have we ever seen drama like this?
I need somebody to help me, because I'm so broken.
Can Clayton be fixed? That is the pressing question as People starts right now. Hey everybody, welcome to People. I'm Kay Adams. Another Sunday night, another award show. The Critics' Choice Awards brought out the A-list dressed in couture. Will Smith was one of them, looking sharp in a custom 3-piece Dolce & Gabbana tux, and he's going to need a bigger trophy case too as the winning streak continues for King Richard. He also took home the BAFTA last night, which was held in London, and the Critics' Choice Award in LA. Adriana Costa was there.
There's an emotional release when people feel honored when you tell a true story.
And the Critics' Choice Award goes to Will Smith.
Did Will make you proud with all of that?
Yeah, father and daughter, that's all that. I mean, my sister is here too.
Your father didn't do it alone. It would be disingenuous for me to accept this role without acknowledging Ingenue Ellis. Please wrap up, sorry. Best actor should get a little more time, I'm just saying.
We're so excited to be here tonight and living our best life, looking our best.
I knew everyone loved me, but but they love you too.
The sisters, both in Versace, received a standing ovation before they presented Best Drama Series to Succession. Jane Campion, who took home Best Director for Power of the Dog, praised the tennis star sisters.
And Venus and Serena, what an honor to be in the room with you. I've taken up tennis.
But it was this remark when referring to her fellow all-male nominees that fell flat on social media.
You know, Serena and Venus, you are such marvels. However, you do not play against the guys, like I have to.
Jane released a statement today apologizing, saying in part, quote, "I made a thoughtless comment equating what I do in the film world with all that Serena Williams and Venus Williams have achieved. I did not intend to devalue these 2 legendary Black women and world-class athletes. Serena and Venus, I apologize and completely celebrate you." Halle Berry in a white mono corset and Dolce & Gabbana suit debuted an edgy new hairstyle. She was honored with the See Her Award. And during her heartfelt speech, Lady Gaga, who was watching in London, was brought to tears.
To every little girl who feels unseen and unheard, this is our way of saying to you, we love you and we see you. And you deserve every good thing in this world.
Michael Keaton took home Best Actor in a Limited Series for Dope Sick. Thankfully, this time he was in his seat instead of the bathroom when his name was called. He still made a joke about the SAG Award snafu.
Man, I have to go to the bathroom. Hold on.
Brett Goldstein, Ted Lasso.
Hannah Waddingham, Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso!
Proving to have the most fun together at award shows, the cast of Ted Lasso.
From the critics, it's literally like Mummy and Daddy have said that you're fabulous.
The glamour was global on both red carpets. From London to LA, Kristen Stewart glittered in Dolce & Gabbana. Selena Gomez was ravishing in red Louis Vuitton. Lady Gaga turned heads in this Gucci. Earlier, she was less revealing in Ralph Lauren. Ariana DeBose wore 2 different golden gowns, one for each award show. Best dressed couple has to go to Joshua Jackson and Jodie Turner-Smith.
My hometown is just a few hundred miles away from Ukraine, and
what are they saying to you?
Well, it's crucial. I'm proud of a lot of my friends that are driving to the border and they're taking families.
Many use their time to show their support to those in Ukraine.
The babies in the Ukraine that are being utterly decimated at the moment. Please think of them as much as you can and give as much as you can.
I want to say thank you to fellow actor President Zelensky and keep up the fight.
Before presenting Power of the Dog with Best Picture, LA Rams head coach Sean McVay and his fiancée Veronica Coleman took a moment to share their message.
Before we announce the nominees, we'd like to take a moment to talk about what's on all of our minds. Veronica's home country, Ukraine.
I proudly stand with my fellow Ukrainians and I admire their strength. There is no place in our world for this kind of violence, and our prayers go out to all the lives that have been lost.
And despite the war going on in their country, Ukrainian athletes won a record 29 medals at the Paralympic Games, finishing second to China. It marked the nation's best ever performance. Okay, just one big award show to go. Will Will Smith's streak continue, and will he take home the Oscar? That's what we need to stay tuned and find out when the Academy Awards air Sunday, March 27th, live on ABC, okay?
And will I be there? Such a good question as well. Adriana, appreciate you. We have so much to get to tonight on People, and we move now to Hailey Bieber's serious health scare. She suffered a very small blood clot to her brain. People has all the latest info on her condition, and it leads up tonight's things we're talking about.
I think she's the only one that can put up with me. For real.
A source tells People Justin can barely sleep and stays up watching Hailey as she rests, adding, Justin was crying because you don't expect your young wife to have symptoms that resemble a stroke.
I miss my wife.
Last Thursday, Hailey was rushed to the hospital in Palm Springs. She's at home now, but the health scare shook Justin and reminded them both about mortality. An insider says Justin is probably more traumatized than Hailey. Now that she's okay, he's going to keep an eye on her and help her however he can.
So I need you to get your head back in the game.
Taraji P. Henson is supporting her Empire co-star Jussie Smollett after he was sentenced to 150 days behind bars for staging his own hate crime.
I am not suicidal, and I am innocent.
Taraji took to Instagram sharing the hashtag #FreeJussie with the caption, I am not here to debate you on his innocence, but we can agree that the punishment does not fit the crime. Taraji mentioned Emmett Till, the teen who was lynched by 2 white men in 1955, writing, Emmett Till was brutally beat and ultimately murdered because of a lie, and none of the people involved with his demise spent 1 day in jail. No one was hurt or killed during Jussie's ordeal. My prayer is that he is freed and put on house arrest and probation because in this case, that would seem fair. Tom Brady's wife, Gisele Bündchen, is all for her husband's return to the NFL, 40 days after announcing his retirement.
My wife is my biggest supporter. It pains her to see me get hit out there.
A source tells People Gisele's been vocal about wanting him to retire for years, but she's also his biggest cheerleader. He would never do it if she weren't on board. Everything they do, they decide as a family.
I want to be fully transparent. I am in love with each of you.
Welcome to the rose ceremony from hell.
And I also was intimate with both of you.
That's right.
Intimate with both. And then there's Susie, apparently. Yeah. And Susie said, peace, I'm bouncing. And that might be the one that got away. Here's the math, though. Over the next 2 nights, I need 4 hours to figure this out.
4 hours.
I know he wants Susie.
Hey, guess what? For me, maybe 4 hours, not even enough. Actually, it may be a little overkill. But okay. I'm here for it no matter what. It all starts tonight after Susie's dramatic exit last week. Yes, that you remember. Clayton is left devastated. Well, we've got a sneak peek clip of the first part of this dramatic finale. Watch.
I'm hurt right now. Last night, everything blew up, and Susie left. I'm just so messed up. I need somebody to help me, because I'm so broken. To completely just be blindsided by last night with Susie, and to feel that, like, everything that we had meant nothing, it just shattered me and my trust. So it's like, where do I go from here?
Tonight's rose ceremony. Gabby and Rachel are going to be expecting roses tonight.
I'll go tonight and I'll talk with them, both, and tell them this is everything that happened and this is where I'm at. And I will be 1,000% transparent. And I don't know how, after they hear that, they're going to move forward. Like, I know that tonight could be the end of this whole thing for me.
And the 2-part Bachelor finale begins tonight at 8 on ABC. Can't wait.
Ooh, who's he going to pick?
Ooh, we'll find out. I want Rachel. That's my go-to.
I've been really rooting for Rachel. She seems like a great gal. Okay, we got Silhouetted Star.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 last week. Hey, you had an incredible run in our little silhouetted game, but here we go for today as we kick off this week. Before becoming an actor, he worked as a substitute high school teacher. He was Jay Leno's first guest ever on The Tonight Show. So we're going back. He played the first openly gay character on TV. Those are your clues. Pretty interesting one here today. The full reveal, and we have a needed, probably, bonus clue coming up later as well.
He's a New Yorker.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this?
Right? That's a good one.
Oh, I
think
like
we're
it.
kicking off strong.
Coming up next, stay right here and let us know at people who you think the Silhouetted Star might be. Now, you remember Josh Peck of Drake and Josh fame, of course, right?
Yes.
Well, in his memoir, he opens up about his severe weight issue.
Oh, you're an actor, and you're overweight, you're gonna be like John Candy or Chris Farley now.
And how his food addiction led to other problems.
Then I discovered sort of drugs and alcohol, and that became the next chapter.
We'll have that important story later, but first, tonight's story that will make you smile. Three-year-old Dylan is Elmo's biggest fan and was not shy about saying hello. The Empire State Building was lit up to celebrate Sesame Street Live returning to New York, and Dylan was pumped.
I'm Melody! Lego. Oh, it's all Melody! You can do it! Yay!
You got something in your nose. Well, did you consider asking me first? I'd like to be in charge of the items in my nose, if you don't mind.
You remember Josh Peck from his teenage roles on Nickelodeon's The Amanda Show, starring Amanda Bynes, and Drake and Josh, of course. Now, today he is 14 years sober. He's a husband, a father, and an author of a memoir called Happy People Are Annoying, and he reveals exclusive details to People.
What I had to do was face this idea that comedy is sort of a natural defense mechanism for me, and it's sort of this asset that was born out of some challenging circumstance.
Josh grew up in New York City with his mom and always had a passion for acting. By age 13, he became a Nickelodeon star on The Amanda Show.
It's like a dream come true!
And then landed his own show alongside Drake Bell called Drake and Josh.
Being on a show like Drake and Josh was my dream. It was the kind of comedy that I always wanted to do in the place that I wanted to do it. I think really, and what I talk about in the book, what was challenging for me was because I was dealing with the weight stuff was I knew I was introducing myself to the world in a body that I wasn't comfortable in.
Josh revealed in his memoir that he wore custom Spanx on Drake and Josh before eventually losing 127 pounds.
Growing up, people would say, oh, you're an actor, and you're overweight, you're gonna be like John Candy or Chris Farley. They weren't comparing me to their ability, they were comparing me to their girth. And when I lost the weight, it's almost as if I took that guy away from them.
Despite his improved physical health, Josh felt unsatisfied.
I was the same head in a new body. I was forced to face how I use food, the way in which I allowed it to numb my feelings. Inevitably, I didn't really face that, right? Because then I discovered sort of drugs and alcohol, and that became the next chapter.
In 2008, Josh joined a treatment program and got sober.
I knew whether it was food or drugs and alcohol, I overdo it.
He married film editor Paige O'Brien in 2017.
I think I heard someone say once, the secret to marriage is to marry up. And I definitely married up. And I don't know if a page is available for comment, but hopefully she agrees.
The two share 3-year-old son, Max. Josh has considered the possibility of Max following in his acting footprints.
Listen, I hope that if he wants to get into acting, that he does as many school plays and acting classes as he wants. And then when he turns 18, I hope he goes to business school.
Josh's memoir, Happy People Are Annoying, is available tomorrow. You can also check him out on Hulu's How I Met Your Father alongside Hilary Duff now. And coming up right here on People, the TV show, we have a feature called Let's Talk About It. We have Days of Our Lives star Lindsay Godfrey and her crippling mental health battle. She tells all.
And I genuinely thought that I would never work again. Oh, how was so-and-so? And people are like, oh God, so-and-so was bonkers, or they were nuts.
You may not know this about me, but I can be pretty devious if I want to. I said I wanted a snack.
Days of Our Lives actress Lindsay Godfrey doesn't understand why mental health is such a hush-hush issue. That's why she's sharing her own mental health journey for People's Let's Talk About It feature, and she has plenty to say, beginning with a rare diagnosis.
I had been struggling for so long, and I knew that I wasn't okay.
Lindsay Godfrey was desperate for a diagnosis for mental health issues that were growing worse.
When I first got my diagnosis, I was offended. I looked at my therapist and she was like, I know, it's an offensive diagnosis. And I was like, I mean, yeah. Like, I'm chemically imbalanced and there's something wrong with my personality.
She was told she is border polar, a seldom heard of term for a combination of borderline personality and bipolar disorders.
It just became this thing where after I got diagnosed, I was very honest with the people that I was close with, and then I started being honest with people that I wasn't close with. And it just became something that I just wanted people to know so that it wouldn't be something scary if they found out about me.
Oh my God. You were pretending to be Susan Banks.
The actress, who is best known for her role as Sarah Horton on NBC's Days of Our Lives, worried that work would dry up.
I genuinely thought that I would never work again because, especially in the acting industry, like, you know how many times that you'll be like, oh, how was so-and-so? And people are like, oh God, so-and-so was bonkers, or they were nuts, and da, 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 and I don't want to work with them, and, you know, I hear they're crazy.
Lindsay recalls difficulties as a child.
I remember being at least 6 and having such bad anxiety that it would, you know, I would sit and rock myself, and I'd rock myself, and I'd rock myself, and I'd rock myself. And then when I would finally calm, I would realize that I'd put my fingers, you know, my fingernails through my skin.
Bullied in middle school, she had anxiety, depression, and self-harmed, but tried to hide it.
I was scared that they would tell me I was crazy, which is like my biggest fear. Mental illness runs in my family. And I did not want to be another one in my family that had it.
As she got older, paranoia, thoughts of suicide, and anger took hold of her life.
I had lost it on a few people, like really lost it. And one of them was a stranger. The final straw for me was I got impatient with my kid.
Now a single mom, she's open with 7-year-old daughter Alita about her struggles.
She knows that it basically, generally speaking, that it means mommy's brain is different. And she said special. And you take medicine to help. And I said, yes. Now it's the healthiest I've ever been. It's the happiest I've ever been. It's the easiest going I've ever been. It's the least angry I've ever been and the least sad. And I've gotten really good at, asking for help. And there is so much on Lindsay's journey in People. You can pick that one out and up now. All right, Jeremy, your first set of clues a little weak.
Well, this is a challenging one for sure.
Weak sauce to start Monday.
Weak sauce. All right, I do get that. We've got some groundbreaking stuff happening here. We've added 2 bonus clues today. Here we go. Before becoming an actor, he worked as a substitute high school teacher. He was Jay Leno's first guest ever on The Tonight Show. Played the first openly gay character on TV. Here are the bonus clues. He's hosted the Oscars 9 times and was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Critics' Choice last night.
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal! That Oscar host one, that really did it. And
I needed the bonus clue.
Billy Crystal is celebrating his 74th birthday today. By the way, that character was on the show called Soap back in the 70s.
Never heard of it.
There you go.
But let's keep it going here on the show. Have you ever heard of Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh, I've heard of him.
I certainly have, but is it Samuel? Is it Sammy? Is it Sam? We find out in tonight's One Last Thing next.
My Uncle Toy Dog stole something. Treasure. I'm gonna find it.
Papa Gray, I'm worried about you.
The rate of the decline is accelerating.
Meaning my mind's gonna be worse than it was before.
A riveting performance by Samuel L. Jackson. As always, he stars in the last days of Ptolemy Gray. You can see it on Apple TV+. And when he's not acting, he likes to golf. And he shares with Shagun one of his latest conquests as well. Take a look, everybody, and good night.
The last celebrity that you beat on the golf course.
Wow, Johnny Gill.
Now they got him saying my. Okay.
All the time, all the time.
Last time someone called you Sam, Sammy, or anything other than Samuel.
My wife, the other night.
Okay. Most memorable fan interactions.
I was in a car the other night on a highway in London. And we pulled up to a light, and there was a sister driving a car next to us, and she was on the phone. So I rolled the window down to tell her to get off the phone because I was on the passenger side, she's on the driver's side, so she's on the right. So we were right next to each other. And I was get off the phone, and she looked at me, and she was about to tell me she was about to do that, and then she went, "Oh my God!" She realized it was me, and then she wanted to take a picture.